जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. Yesterday we were contemplating upon an important factor, the passionate attachment to God. Jagate virag, Bhagavani anurag. Anurag, passionate attachment. Sri Ramakrishna said, how to live in this world? By bringing God into life, living with God and being with God, moving about with God, all things, life centered around God. We are doing all the activities, in and through all the activities. You are rooted in God, and just like tree is rooted in the earth and it is flowering, it is fruiting, it is growing, it is playing in this vast world. Like that, being rooted in God, you have to be in the world. Do all the activities with family and friends, be freely moving about, but be rooted in God. This one part of being rooted in God we miss. We do all other things and become yielding every moment to the karmic load. The ego that I possess and the buddhi that I use in the world makes this karma. I yield to action and the action brings the reaction. The reaction is called karma phala. Now I have to pass through the karma phala. All the whole of karma phala I have to every moment. Suppose I do the same thing rooted in God, none of the karmas get attached to me. Because I am in God, I am rooted in God, I am getting nourishment from God, and I am playing in the world with all others and doing all the activities. This is passionate attachment. It is the play of heart. Heart is given to God, body is given to the world, mind is given to the world. It is working, but heart in the heart of heart, God is sitting there. Your love is turned inward, your attachments are inward, your movements are in the external world. This we saw in the last class, how from Parichaya we enter into Sambandha, from Sambandha how we enter into the intimacy with God, passionate attachment. What happens when you become intimate? Intimacy increases. The moment intimacy increases, slowly you will see that world is not disturbing you. You are at peace deep within. The intimacy with God will make you so divine. Whole thing, your inner divinity starts spreading to the bodily level. You can't harm anybody, you can't insult anybody, and God and nature take participation in your life that nothing obstructs you, nobody insults you, nobody gives you problem, because you are rooted in God and God has to take the responsibility. It is like a child in the womb. The womb, the child is growing, the fetus is growing. Every care, everything is taken, responsibility is taken by nature and through the mother. All things to be fed. The growth is possible. Neither participation of child is there nor of mother. But nature is bringing, just to making that mother as the adhara for action. Nature is acting and mother is just an adhara for its growth. So also we see The body is Adhara for our evolution. Nature is doing her work. She said, you are protected in every way. You are taken care. God's participation will be there to guide from within, intuit from within, from within. So God intuits Divine Mother as nature manages the whole situation and things that you have to pass through. So this is passionate attachment. Another thing is constant practice. Constant practice becomes essential because if you leave, you are disconnecting from the 2 days. If you leave, even just you imagine your physical exercises, yoga or something you are doing, just to leave for 1 day. The next day you will not be feeling like going, or some reason will be there which mind holds on to for not doing. And the third day, it slowly gets disconnected. One gap, from there the gap expands and goes. Each time you have to again gain so much of energy, this, that and all. You have to overcome so much of resistance and then again link. So this part is saved, time is saved, life is saved, energy is saved, and continuation, a long period of continuation alone will give the fruit. Now certain diseases you have to take, like tuberculosis, you have to take continuous medicine. If you break 1 day, the medicine has to be changed, and it has to be continued for 8 months at a stage without a single gap. If you miss it, again 8 months from that time. So that gap, a small gap, creates the inner vasanas to occupy body and mind, again get attached to the world. We don't know how. Again I am same person, old person. So many days I was doing so many practices, going here, there, temple and all that, ashrama I was going. Suddenly a gap came. Some reason, exam is there or something, or I have to go out. And you see, after coming back there is a gap, and never to go back again. So this, because the vasanas which were kept suppressed, for it to dissolve away, now suddenly manifests again. And when it manifests with vengeance, like a plant or this one kept suppressed, and then when it gets an opportunity, it shoots up like anything. After the patchats, you must see the plants growing, rainy season, how it flourishes. Like that vasana starts flourishing, and you forget that I have to go. It makes you forget. So this continuation practice without gap, nirantara, is small. Just 15 minutes every day, 15 minutes in the evening, without gap. And that 15 minutes entirely given to God. No other thoughts. Drop away your past, drop away your future, drop away the present also. You are yourself. No other thoughts, no other attachments or anything. Mind is empty, mind is clean, mind is pure, and God alone is there. The presence of God alone is felt. It is that 15 minutes. 24 hours out of 24 hours, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. Half an hour, 23.5 hours are left to you. This is continuation of the practice, just twice. And if you can extend it 3 times a day. It is called Trisandhya. How you will germinate, how you grow into a spiritual tree, it will be a wonder. It takes time because spiritual is against the current, world current, and against your past tendencies. Past momentum is there. Tremendous momentum to rush into the world, possess and enjoy. You have to go against it. It will be difficult. It takes time. You see, these mustard seeds or ragi or wheat, just put in the ground and water it. Within 3 days you will see the sprout coming up, and within a week you will see the leaves are shooting up. But take the plant of coconut, fully grown coconut, you have to plant in sand and water every day for 6 months. 6 months after that you will see a shoot coming out. 6 months it takes. By that 2 generations of the wheat will be over. 3 months is its life. But this stands for 100 years giving fruit. Coconut. To give that 100 years of coconut, it takes the 6 months. This lasts for 3 months and gives a crop and goes away forever. Within 3 months his life is over. Here it goes on, and you are going to enter into eternity. For 100 years it is taking 6 months to germinate. You are entering into eternity. So even if it takes 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, doesn't matter. You are entering into eternal life of everlasting peace. No more suffering, no more bondage. At your freedom, 100% your freedom. You can be as you want. You want to take birth, it is at your disposal. You want to end your life, it is at your disposal. Not to get suffering, it's your disposal. To acquire suffering, it is at your disposal. Nature cannot impose upon you any time. So this is the Jivan Mukti state, and permanent after that freedom of Mukti. So this practice, the small practice you are doing, Nirantara, then it is called practice. Abhyasa. Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam. And Vairagya is always associated, dispassion is always associated with passionate attachment for God. These then are the two means, practice and passionate attachment. That is to say, restlessness of the soul to see Him. What is passionate attachment? What does it do? Just like two lovers are coming in contact with each other. They have their own duties. They are in different families. They want to meet. Every moment, how much longing they will have. They have to go to work. Both have to go to work. They go. But whole heart is longing, weeping. When will I go and meet? When will I go and meet? This longing to see, the longing to meet, longing to be one with each other. This longing is created by the passionate attachment. Practice and passionate attachment, that is to say, restlessness of the soul to see Him. In world, restlessness of the senses and mind. When we are with God, the God is, loving God is independent of the bodily existence. In the beginning, we begin with the serving God as worship, this, that and all, serving people and all. Later on, as time passes, as intimacy develops, we don't care for our body also. Body is Bodily relationship with world is possible. With God, our heart alone. Something emerges out from our own bodily existence to love God. More you love God, your spirit, and less body. More you or get attached or love this world, you are intensely body. Body is associated with the world. And God, with God, the soul is associated with God. Soul is independent of body. In Indian context, we write yes, capital. Hinduism, a soul means the Jivatman. In West, the soul means other than body, what exists, mind and what we call Antaranga. The inner part of our existence, mind and feeling heart and intellect, together is called soul. Here in Hinduism, when we use the term soul, it means S capital we write and soul. Soul now. Soul means my Jivatman. That is the transmigratory soul which goes from one body to another body to another body. That part which is independent of the body and which moves from one body to another body. It is not what manifests in one body and thinking, acting, feeling. No. It is sum total of it includes all karmic load and tendencies which is the cause of next birth also. So that soul, the Antaranga, with all its aspects and limitations and freedom, that longs for God, which is ever related with God. The soul is ever related. When I love God, the soul comes up, the spirit comes up. When I love the world or hold on to the world, body comes up and soul is suppressed. The spirit is suppressed, matter is predominant because it is holding on to the matter. When we are holding on to matter, material things, bam, I am body. When I am holding on to God, I am spirit. Spiritual existence, bodily existence. My spiritual existence is beyond my three bodies, Stula, Sukshma, Karana. Beyond that is I pervade these and they work. My presence is necessary for mind to work. Consciousness, Chaitanya. My Chaitanya, as long as Chaitanya is there, body works, mind works, senses work, all work. When it is withdrawn, even in sleep, all these sleep off. When I leave the body, all these disappear. Body also, physical body also starts decaying. So that is soul. That soul longs for God. Restless of the soul to see Him. Sri Ramakrishna began his midday meal with the devotees. It was about 1 o'clock. You must remember. Restless. Sri Ramakrishna, we are in at 1 hour, it was 1 hour, about 1 o'clock, a devotee sang in the court below. Awake, mother, awake, one of the devotees. A devotee sang in the courtyard below. Sri Ramakrishna began his midday meal with devotees. It was 1 o'clock. Sri Ramakrishna is taking midday meal with the devotees, and in the courtyard below, a devotee is singing. Awake, mother, awake. How long thou hast been asleep in the lotus of Muladhara. Fulfill thy secret function. Mother, raise to the 1,000-petaled lotus within the head, where mighty Shiva has his dwelling. Swiftly pierce the 6 lotuses and take away my grief, O essence of consciousness. Hearing the song, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. His whole body became still. His hand remained touching the plate of the food. He could eat no more. After a long time, his mind came down partially to the plane of the sense world, and he said, I want to go downstairs. A devotee led him down very carefully, still in an abstract mood. He sat near the singer. The song had ended. The master said to him very humbly, Sir, I want to hear the chanting of the mother's name again. The musician sang again. Awake, mother, awake, how long thou art. Thou hast been asleep in the lotus of the Mooladhara. The song went on. The master again went into ecstasy. Now we see here, mother awake, a person, Sri Ramakrishna has sat for food and he hears a devotee singing downstairs that, awake mother, awake, how long are you asleep? Hast been asleep in the lotus of Mooladhara. The 6 levels of consciousness. It's an important thing. The Hinduism has touched all aspects of human existence. Various paths to enter into the transcendental reality. One is through intellect, Jnana Yoga. One is Bhakti Yoga through the heart, love. Love is manifestation of the Atman. To turn it back to the source is Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga is intellect is given to understand what is this world, what is Jiva, what is this Vishwa, Jagat, and what is beyond, in the realm transcendental, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. What do they mean? So trying to transcend all this and enter the existence which is eternal, unchanging, bliss absolute. So this is Jnana Yoga, the other is Bhakti Yoga. It is not related to reasoning at all. Reasoning is totally given up, and love. Love that endures, love in which the individual soul dissolves in the absolute. This is another path where you are not torn away from the world, but live in the world and transcend the world by love. In Jnana Yoga, we renounce all the thing as unreal and ever-changing and enter into the realm transcendental. Neti, neti, this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman, this is not God, this is not. Go on, tearing away, throwing away everything and going is the Advaitic path. It begins with the denial of the body, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittaninam. Other is Bhakti Yoga. You love, in the love of God, you forget yourself, forget the world. And whenever you are aware of the world, you remain doing your duties without attachment. This is Bhakti Yoga. Another is Japa Yoga. In Japa Yoga, there is another channel other than the intellect and heart that connects us to the transcendental realm. That is Vak. The thought that appears, we speak, comes from the transcendental realm. That is from Para, the spiritual existence of mind. Para, it emerges from my pure spiritual existence and passes through a path to reach the mind. It reaches mind, it's called Madhyama. The path by which it passes from the heart, that is the transcendental, to the mind, from the Atman, from the innermost core of my existence, from the absolute, it emerges, and the path tread by the thought, reaching the mind. That path is called Pashyanti, emerging from the consciousness, Chaitanya. From emerging from Chaitanya is Para, the transit to mind is Pashyanti. In the mind, it takes the form of the words. It is called Madhyama, and from the mouth it comes as the sound, Vaikari. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. In this same path is tread by little, by repeating the name of God and slowly getting more and more absorbed inward. When I repeat the name of the God with whom behind, I am calling, I am identifying my words with the transcendental. So slowly the mantra and its meaning, meaning of the mantra, I get absorbed, and slowly from my words coming out of my mouth stops. I get absorbed in its meaning, and then meaning pertains to the transcendental. I start moving to the transcendental. I reach the mind. I go beyond the mind towards my pure Chaitanic aspect, my spiritual existence. This is, I am passing through the Pashyanti level of these yogis alone can see. It is in the Dhvani Rupa, Nada Rupa, and it is, I am reaching the transcendental realm, my own self, the Atman. From Atman it emerged, and I am going back by repeating a sutra which pertains to the transcendental. So, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om is there, which refers to the transcendental realm. Slowly, just like Sri Ramakrishna says, the Sandhya merges in Gayatri, Gayatri merges in Om. All mantras start moving within. We reach the transcendental. So we have various paths. Another path is the Jiva came into existence from the transcendental. The pure divine infinite existence is made into a small Jiva. And this Jiva, the energy which brought him back into the world by passing through the various levels of consciousness to the bodily level of material consciousness, that the energy which brought is called Kundalini, and it has to take me back to the source, and it is called the various levels of consciousness is called the chakras within. Mooladhara is the lowest chakra of material awareness, and Sahasrara is the highest level of consciousness of the absolute existence, transcendental world. So from the material world, I go to the transcendental, holding on to the energy which made me come to the bodily existence. This is Kundalini Yoga. See here, the thing is regarding Kundalini Yoga, which we'll see in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.